That was a pretty darn good group there. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce a phenomenal Larson Rebel. She is an accomplished scholar, athlete, and leader, and probably somebody who might be a pretty good candidate to be back here 4 years from now talking to our latest group of 8th graders. Please welcome the President of Student Council, Ms. Julia Lauer, with her remarks.
Welcome, parents, teachers, faculty, and you guys all out there. I'd like to start off with a big thanks to all those who helped put on this wonderful graduation. And I'd like to give another warm welcome to our principal and assistant principal, Mr. Duda and Dr. Senda. And before I start, I'd like to give a shout out to all those who I promised to put in my speech. But, hey Mom and Dad. So for the past couple weeks, I've been wondering how I'm going to talk to all of you. Really glad I did not just fall up those stairs right there. Hashtag TBT to the first time we stepped into this school as little 6th graders, scared as heck. We came from a bunch of elementary schools, we became one. Our circle of friends got bigger, our athletics got stronger. We joined clubs and we were able to learn some stuff too. The first thing I remember was, hey, I'm pretty tall. Not anymore. We learned a lot here as we grew up here at Larson. And not just by the books. Some of us girls learned how to put on makeup. Some of you guys learned how to shave. Now that I think about it, we had some pretty cool teachers teach us some pretty cool stuff too. Mr. Knaus taught us that he's 99.9% right most of the time. Kind of like the opposite of hand sanitizer. We learned not to play volleyball with Mr. Tull unless you plan on getting drilled in the face. We learned Mrs. Lee has an undying love for us 8th graders that come to Washington, D.C. every single year. There we had a tour guide named Aaron and walked around with FBI hats like we were running the government. In English, we learned about generalization. I think one generalization we can all make was that 8th grade was our best year here at Larson. We learned a couple things about ourselves, how to have good study habits, the bad side effects of procrastination, and how to talk to adults with those portfolios that we all know and love. It's easy to say we've made mistakes and learned from them. From these experiences, we've learned to become more intelligent, responsible, and independent. Right, Mom? At least some of us. Now, do you guys see all of the learning that we've done here? All of this was done to prepare us for high school, and then to college, and hopefully a job after that, where we're not living in our parents' basements. Now, some of us might be saying, can I do some of the things that she's talking about? Where do I plan on going to college? What do I want to do when I'm older? Let me answer that for you. Here's the plus side of being young. We have time and choices. So what if you're not all that confident and outgoing? Let's decide to make a change. Let's decide to believe in ourselves and take chances. Let's decide to try out for clubs and make new friends and try out for different sports. Let's decide to make choices that are not influenced by others. Let's decide to be safe drivers. Let's decide to solve problems rather than create them. Let's decide to take responsibilities into our own hands. Let's decide to stand up for others and help those who need it. Let's decide to reach our potential. Let's decide to do what's right. Let's decide.
Thank you, Julia. We will now recognize students in the second group, last names